Now, obviously, when we talk about people who are blocked, I've been meaning to make this series for a while. Because obviously, there aren't just nutters who get blocked and then tell the story as though it was literally like them telling the story of hearing their child's first words or scoring 5 touchdowns in the big game in high school. No. When they met their first love, perhaps dining out on this story for years, saying mad stuff like, he's got off the bloody community, man, just because they've been blocked. But the day before, when they weren't blocked, apparently, the community was just fine, like the sky wasn't falling chicken little. Like, when these people come along, obviously what they're saying is just utter shite. You're going to see in this video how many of them are just actual liars, like, just absolutely pulling it out their arse, just nonsense. Or I've said, like, I just was blocked for disagreeing, and then they say, like, mental stuff below. So I thought, you know what, fuck it. What we're going to do is we're going to perform a kind of alchemy here, a cultural alchemy. We're going to take this dog shit that they've provided, the Negredo, the base material, the unrefined, tainted, impure material, and we're going to, using comedy, using a bit of humour, using a bit of logic, we're going to transform this into something more refined, into something funny, entertaining, lift the spirits, distract you a little bit from the harshness of the world. And in the doing so, I'll make a bit of money. You get to have a laugh. They can fuck off still, can't they? So let's go ahead and do it. I might in the future even, by the way, do something similar where maybe I'll do like a live thing and unblock a few people as long as they donate some money for charity, and then I'll be able to buy one of those gaming carts for some kids in a hospital back in my hometown, right? Again, not a bad use of fucking morons on the internet. So I'll get into it when we go through a lot of this stuff. But you'll see there's a whole load of tells, psychological tells you're going to see when I block some of these people to show what utter nonsense they're all about. And I'll sort of address some of these things as we go through. But I'll just say at the top, right? Do you know what the standard for a good reason to block someone is? There isn't one. It's entirely subjective. And essentially, the way Twitter works is you have an account and you can message outward. And if people don't want to hear your messaging, they can mute you, or they could just block you directly and you can't actually message them anymore. Similarly, if I am using my account for any reason, I could just see your account and look at it and go, I don't like this. Or I could see you tweet about something and go, that seems like a stupid line of reasoning. I'm actually not interested in this person. Couple of clicks, they're gone. It's a couple of clicks and you're in. Now, in this scenario, then people obviously just wig out, and you can tell at this point they're taking the internet way too seriously because they're going like, wow, that must mean all the... And then they start speculating like an armchair psychologist about what it must mean about you and your past and who are you as a person. Or people with 10 followers go, wow, a person who encounters hundreds or thousands of comments a day, they are mentally ill or fragile or a coward or a bitch, or they basically, or better even then, they just imagine stuff. Oh, you say not to block people, or you say that about free speech. Yeah, and then they just go completely off it. I thought you said that people had to take what they can give up, and they just go into some fantasy land completely. But you're going to see, we're going to have some fun with this. So let's get into it, okay, boys? We're going to start with our first one here. This guy here just says, everyone on the CSGO community is blocked by him. Thorin is basically monologuing at this point in time. Now, here's what's fun here, boys. Let's just have a look, shall we? He has 12 followers. I have 210,000 followers. So by definition, he's just monologuing into a void. I have over 210,000 followers. If he's speaking to 210,000 people, would that be classed as a monologue? I mean, in theory, it would be a monologue, but at least it'd be a monologue with an audience, right? I don't know if this guy's aware of this, but if I was only tweeting on my timeline and not to anyone, they're all monologues at that point in time. There's no dialogue because I'm not speaking to someone and then trying to listen to what they say and then respond to it. I consider actually Twitter to be a one-way platform typically, unless it's my mutuals, the 1,000 or so people I do follow. And guess what? That's a way of showing through action I'm interested in what they have to say. People like this I don't know, didn't know existed till 2 seconds ago, don't care about the opinion of. I'm not interested in having a dialogue with them because you know what? Not only do I have 200,000 people follow me, which is way more than I could ever waste my whole fucking life having dialogues with, but some of them, let's say I've got 1,000 or so I follow, 210,000 I don't follow. That means there's 209,000 people who are choosing to follow me because they're in some way interested in what I have to say, but I'm not following them because I'm not interested in what they have to say and I don't know them. So that's how Twitter works. How about this one? This is pretty good. This guy goes, wait, I got blocked by the king of shitty takes who can never back up his points. damn at Thorin. By the way, you don't see that anymore, you moron, if you're blocked. I only see this now because I've explicitly gone and searched. I wouldn't ever see it, you cretin. That's the way that Twitter works. That's what the block function does, you moron. You think it still shows up in my mentions? Think it through. He goes, damn at Thorin. Didn't know you were that soft. So I'm the king of shitty takes. You can have that opinion. And I can never back up my points. Let's go and see what points it is that he's been making and what I haven't been able to back up. Oh, look. The next tweet is just going, I forgot what an absolute edgelord at Thorin is, intentionally tagging me, is as a person. He knows me as a person now, not just a guy on the internet, you know, with a persona, who has made a career about being loud about poor predictions and analysis until he came back up for some drama. Right, it isn't that I've done thousands of videos analysing the game, trying to tell the stories of people. It isn't that I've done hundreds and hundreds of written articles detailing on the long history of certain star players and great players. I haven't done all those, I mean, at this point, probably 1,000 interviews in my career with all sorts of pros from different levels of the game, different games themselves and scenes throughout the years, providing insight, extra information, a philosophical bent to what these players got. I haven't done any of that, right? All I did is just be loud about poor predictions and analysis and then just came for drama. And then when I thought, that's not a very interesting opinion, is it? I can't back up my points. I should back up my points against this guy. I should say, well, you've certainly made a very interesting point there about me being someone who just got famous for being loud about bad predictions. I would disagree, and here's why. Exhibit A, please, and pull out like a board. You will see that I have done that. No, exactly. I wouldn't waste my time, would I? Like, it's pretty obvious. Let's go to another one. This one's fucking mental. This guy's one of these people who just keeps telling the story that you're blocked, but it changes seemingly all the time. He goes, some people here, Thorin included, need to be taken out of Twitter. So okay, he turned against me after he's blocked. Let's just hope before he was blocked, he was a really reasonable guy, and therefore, maybe I just sort of triggered him and he went off after I blocked him. He's probably a totally legit normal guy, right? Here's another one. He's just talking about like, he's a no-name business owner, talking about Rich here. His way of having some clout to his org and himself is by making controversial tweets. Basically, the org owner Thorin, as though the only way you get known is by getting clout for making controversial tweets. Let him have his moment. Okay, he seems to be very bitter against me. We haven't got to the story yet how he was blocked, but let's keep going. Just tag Thorin, he tells someone to annoy me, essentially, even though he himself's blocked. Then he has a whole bunch of other ones. He goes, at this point, I bet Thorin blocked every one of the 1.5 million people that follows Pugnatio. Well, that's just a totally reasonable statement, isn't it? It doesn't even make it like a joke, by the way. Like, obviously, it must on some level be a joke. But I think this guy's actually almost stupid enough. He thinks he's making an interesting point. Then he goes, he's acting like a child. Then he goes, hey, look, yeah, I saw it now. Thorin knows the only way for him to stay relevant. Mate, I've blocked you. You can't even see my tweets anymore. And you're keeping me relevant. Like, every few days, you're just tweeting. Mate, in one day, you tweet like 5 times about me. Then, you wait till the end of the month. You keep tweeting, you keep telling the story. You keep making... Other people aren't even necessarily like... They're just going, like, you're just bringing my name up out of nowhere. Motherfucker, I couldn't be more relevant in your life. I bet you don't call or think about your mum as much as you do me in the average month, apparently. This is just from September, the last month that just went by. So let's keep going down. He goes, what did Thorin say? I'm blocked. Sad face. Let's just take stock a second. He's sad that he's blocked. He still wants to know what I'm saying. He's still trying to engage with people about me and have conversations about me. So let's hope this is a mistake. I just caught him accidentally. I clicked the wrong profile. He was probably a cool guy and he just spiraled afterwards. It can happen to anyone, right? You know, falling down. Except actually, obviously, the premise, if you know at the end of that movie, was he was nuts all along, wasn't he? But let's just have a look, shall we? Let's go back here. So, banger about Fnatic, even though I have no idea what Thorin posted, since he is blocking me in half of Twitter, the little snowflake. So first of all, I blocked half of Twitter, because remember, these narcissists are so mentally ill that if you block them, he's blocking everyone! He's blocking everyone! The sky's falling! He's put a nuke! He's fired an A-bomb of blocking to everyone, the whole scene! And yet, bizarrely, you're having all these conversations with people, you're talking about that again. Bizarrely, there's tons of people replying to my tweet. It doesn't all add up, does it? What could it be? The little snowflake. It's always guys, by the way, who have like 500 followers, who are like, hey, you're a snowflake. You can't just let everyone follow you and never block them and reply to what they say and argue with them on debate. It's like, you haven't got 200,000 followers, mate. You don't know anything about what it's like to be in this world. Then, okay, he's tagging me in here. My boy Thorin is a master of this. He can teach y'all some stuff. Then he has one, okay, still talking about me being blocked. By the way, this guy's obsessed. Then you go down here. I had a discussion with one of his fans 2 years ago. This is mental. Now he's just talking about what my fans do. Like, this is in July. Like, how much of this guy's day is just about what I've done and on my Twitter after I hit a button? And he goes, after Thorin proclaimed that what he does is journalism, of course I called him out. Oh, calling out's a big deal. These people are the hall monitors of the world. They were sent here with a mission from God. They must personally punish people like me for having bad opinions. They must call me out, because in doing so, they're sort of like Gandhi speaking out against British oppression. They're sort of like Martin Luther King, like, let my people go free. These are the heroes of the modern day. You know, these are the people that'll be remembered. They've done something very important with their lives. Their lives aren't empty. Therefore, they're on the internet trying to call out people that they have a parasocial relationship with on the basis that they saw some videos of that person talking about video games. No. That would make them seem crazy or maybe unstable. Maybe in this scenario, potentially dangerous. So, okay, after I proclaimed that what I do is journalism. So, do you know what you call someone who goes and interviews loads of people and researches? It's a type of journalism. I've done hundreds and I might have done more interviews than anyone in esports history. Then how about people who write like polemic pieces about like topical things in industry or cultural aspects, or tells the stories? Oh, that's a type of journalism, isn't it? What about investigative journalism? I don't do much of it, but I do videos where I make sure all my sources are nailed and I tell you the backstory of what's going on, and I even use my analysis to add to it of like, this is what it also could mean based on my sources. So that's a sort of journalism. Then you could add that I've won 3 Journalist of the Year awards, 1 from the Esports Awards, 2 from Esports Heaven, when Richard Lewis literally wasn't even a friend of mine. He was just a mild acquaintance at best, but he gave me the award for Best Journalist of the Year 2 years running. By the way, he himself later on went on to win 2 Journalist of the Year awards from the Esports Awards and is a Hall of Fame, like, lifetime achievement member over there, as he certainly should be. Then he goes, anyway, I wouldn't consider his media output of any real journalism, as he is mostly here to fight his imaginary wars. There's certainly someone who's got like an imaginary fixation that they can't quite let go, and they seem to be putting a lot of their output into fighting that particular thing. I just clicked the button. Don't know who this guy is. I must have seen it at one point. Then, look, he's talking to Pabu. I don't know how people watch his brain dead analysis. If you block Thorin, if you tag Thorin, he will block you now. Let's keep going, right? Let's go down here. Half of Twitter there. I must have blocked half of Twitter, probably including my own parents. Well, there's nothing mentally ill about bringing my parents up and saying I must have blocked them on Twitter, because obviously they're on Twitter and I'll just block them, because this guy has never done anything. Remember, we're going to keep going, but he's never done anything and I've just blocked him. So I'll probably block my own parents, to be honest. It seems like a reasonable thing to say. So let's go down a little bit, right? Oh, too bad half of Twitter is blocked, so we can't see the post. Sad face. It's weird how this guy is almost like unstable or something. One day it's hilarious that I'm blocked. I'm a little snowflake. I'm a bitch. You know, I'm overthinking it completely. I can't back up my... But then he keeps getting sad. Like every few days he starts to get a bit. It's like, it's him. I'm blocked. I can't even see him. By the way, anytime they say they can't see the post, that means they're so stupid that 2 things are the case. 1, they can't just click log out and look at your page. I mean, the irony is, their main problem, it appears, is they can't log out of Twitter. 2, if they don't want to log out, let's say they use Chrome, they could, like I'm doing with these tweets, just open them in Internet Explorer, because they wouldn't be logged into Twitter on that if they don't use Internet Explorer as their default browser, and they would just see the tweets. But no, when I block them, it then causes like a Chinese botnet to like block every single possible instance that they can ever access in their life. And then, like alphabet agency level technology, IP and MAC address blocks any actual device they touch. So when all that spyware's in there, it sees you with the camera and hears your voice and picks up on things and scans it, it's actually scanning. And if you say like Twitter or you mention Thorin and they somehow know it's you, maybe even like the fingerprint device on the Apple iPhone goes, this guy is blocked by Thorin, and it makes it so the phone just can't access it. You can't get through. It's even better than the Great Firewall of China. Like, you just can't get through it, bro. It's impossible. And how about this guy goes, tag Thorin. So now we're back in April, guys. Since he knows I've blocked him, he's going, tag Thorin, so he knows he's literally a crappy. Hey guys, are you guys unblocked by Thorin? Right, send him this message. Like, secretary, take a letter for me. Dear Thorin, you are a crybaby. He's not investing a lot of time here. Then he's going, cringe tweet, but what can we expect from Thorin's copycat? Isle Dominate's just a Thorin copycat. He doesn't have like a distinct personality. It's quite different from mine. Entirely different background and, you know, maybe like 60% opinions that are not shared by me at all. But let's keep going down. Thorin, small PP energy. Basically, I have a small dick, you know. I mean, why not? If you don't like someone, their dick's probably small, right? Keep thinking about their dick a lot if you can. Fantasize about maybe what size it is, and then go on the internet and tell people about it and go, haha, imagine if his dick was small. By the way, if someone did have a small dick, what would be funny about that? What would be the issue? Then let's just go down. We'll keep ignoring this. These professional esports turd, honestly. Thorin is just a prick. And then let's go down to here. Okay, at this point in time, he's saying about like debates, discussions. Let's keep going. There's got to be some better stuff down here. Thorin, aka real journalist. Funny because in my profession, I study journalism quite a bit. Oh, hold up. We got a badass here. You know this is going here. And you've never been any journalist, mate. No reason given, by the way. If he just says something, he must have gotten the fucking reality stone. Now the reality can be anything I want it to be. You've never been a journalist. What? Oh my god, my awards have all gone. Like, fuck. Oh, I've forgotten all the interviews. Shit. Fuck, no. Oh, he's Thanos snapped my ass. Oh, he's taken journalism from me. The most biased keyboard warrior that runs a talk show. I mean, if I'm just a biased keyboard warrior that runs a talk show, what about the interviews? What about all the videos? What about, all those years I went to events? What about winning awards? Never mind. He goes, a 37-year-old man who spends his life in a space heater room thinking he's the reckoning. By the way, 30th of April 2020. I actually haven't lived in that room at this point in time for almost 3 years. But remember, this guy's not mentally ill. He's referencing stuff from like 2017 and back. But in 2020... and continuing to think about me, but he definitely watched all my new content. Like, he knows that I just live in a room that's really cold and I have a space heater in it, right? Keeps going. The fact that you consider yourself a journalist is hilarious. You're just a Twitter warrior. By the way, this is obviously when I blocked him after this. What am I blocking him for, right? The fact you consider yourself a journalist is hilarious. You're just a Twitter warrior, and I don't like TSM either. All right. There we go. Keep going with these. These fans are all little bitches. They have no bite. Oh, we saw you deleted that tweet, donkey. Oh, I'm not allowed to delete tweets. Oh, fucking hell. You notice that mentally ill people, they're really obsessed with controlling what features you use on the free internet bird app that anyone can do. It's weird that Twitter haven't taken all these functions out. Apparently it's like hate speech to just block people, delete a tweet. You're not allowed to do these things. The hall monitors of the world have said so. What's his first ever tweet to me? Now I know why no one takes you seriously as a esport journalist. You're a joke. Go find a real job, mate. Ironically. Okay, this guy's pretty good. Hesborger. Here's some good ones. He goes, yeah, some people take words wrong and then you're blocked. Not even you are. You're blocked. Had the same thing happened with Thorin, the Danish leaks guy. Okay, so we're going to find out I've taken his words wrong and then just blocked him. You know, it's an accident. It could happen to anyone. What the fuck? Why Thorin blocked me? Why has Thorin blocked me at Thorin? Remember, I don't see the ats because that's the way the block functions. It's almost like these people don't understand Twitter in many ways. Then there's this one where this guy goes... By FP, I assume you mean Flashpoint, and the ESL Louvre agreement was made almost a month before Flashpoint was even announced. By the way, it wasn't. It wasn't agreed. Like, that was just something that was speculated upon, and they were starting to build it, and it hadn't been signed by any of the teams at that point in time. So what would the relevance be? And he goes, and Thorin may have said that Astralis wanted to come to Flashpoint. They actually signed something saying they would be in Flashpoint, but what I wasn't told at the time was it was contingent. This is what the context was, that I think that 2 other teams had to join out of a certain shortlist. It was like, e.g. Fnatic, maybe Mouse Sports, OG. There was a few that if they joined, if like 2 of those joined, then Astralis would have been in Flashpoint. It's irrelevant what would happen with the Louvre agreement. Now, obviously, I have my reasons to believe Astralis then used that factor to make Flashpoint think they were joining, and then actually, basically, behind the scenes, went and told some of those teams that don't join the ESL one, the Louvre agreement, we'll get you an even better deal with that because we're actually playing ESL against Flash. So that's by the by, though. And this guy can't possibly know any of the behind-the-scenes stuff, but he's mentally unstable, so he just imagines he does. He has a rich fantasy life where he makes a mistake of thinking it's real, but actually it's just in his mind. You're going to see a lot of that in this video. And this guy says, But ESL bought them out first. That's not actually true. But don't trust what Thorin says. About 90% of it is shit. So 90% of what I say, and he cannot possibly verify that in this specific case, is shit. But I've taken his words wrong, and, you know, suddenly he's just blocked. Like, doesn't it? What the fuck? Why has Thorin blocked me? Then, earlier on, he goes, you're so fucking annoying. You only trash talk about Astralis 24/7. So I unfollowed you. So he's even unfollowed me. He doesn't even follow me anymore, guys. And all I ever do is trash talk Astralis. By the way, you do know from like 2016 when they formed until about 2018, before the Blastralis era, most of the people said I was an Astralis dick sucker and I never stopped talking about them. Previous tweet, Thorin is a clown. I must just be taking these words wrong, guys. Like, these are actually like perfectly reasonable arguments. I'm just taking it wrong and suddenly blocking the guy, aren't I? How many tier 1 teams in Flashpoint? Just talking shit on that, of course. Yeah, basically, seems like I've just been unfair again. You know, sometimes you take words wrong and next thing you know, the guy's blocked. Here's a good one. This guy goes, unrelated, so guy I've never interacted with, don't know him, random guy, just goes, unrelated. Why are you banning people that have different opinions than you? First of all, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you haven't even given it an instance, you haven't referenced anyone. You just come out of the blue, literally just like fucking like appear out of nowhere. I'm walking by, you just come out of a bush. Unrelated, why are you banning people that have different opinions than you? By the way, do you think that's a reasonable question? Like, am I obliged to answer the whole monitor of the world? Excuse me, Edson, have you got a whole pass to go down there? Why are you doing that? Because I need to know what's going on right now. I'm going to write a report up on this. Or people that make jokes about some quotes you said, which is something you do on a frequent basis. Yet when they do it in a light-hearted way, they get instantly blocked, LMAO. By the way, definitely doesn't have an alt account that got banned. And he's not referencing that. He's trying to make himself just seem like a concerned citizen. Definitely didn't just get banned for saying something stupid, maybe about TSM or something. Because this part where he goes, or they make jokes about some quotes you said, which is what you do on a frequent basis. You know what? They're free to block me then. That's the way Twitter and the internet works. But when they do it, yeah, you know what? When I make jokes that other people don't like, I don't block myself. Yeah, okay, right, yeah, I've got that one. But when they make jokes I don't like, I block them. Here's another little tell for you. None of these people understand the concept of an asymmetrical relationship or a parasocial relationship. So a parasocial relationship, effectively, is where someone sat at home that I don't know exists, I have never met, I have never thought about, I have never seen before in my life. They know who I am because I'm on their screen and they've chosen to click and consume my content, my tweets, my articles, my work, my thoughts. And so they start to think, understandable, humans only an animal on some level. I mean, listen, I don't personally ascribe to that, but that's what people say, right? And basically, it's hard for the brain to tell what's real and what isn't. So what happens is when they start to see this, they start to think of some thoughts about what do they think about me and what they think about my ideas, and maybe they're even thinking about, I disagree with that. No, that's not right what he's saying. And in their mind, they're almost having like a back and forth, a tete-a-tete with me, a meeting of the minds. There's a dialogue going on there that they're almost talking to the screen. And so what they start to do is they think they have a relationship with me. They think we're connected in some way. They think because they click a video for free or they click a tweet that they're giving me something, it's an exchange, and we now have a relationship. And as a result, the idea that they can't do something that is the same as what I do is unfair. It's actually wrong, it's maybe even immoral, it's unethical, it's just not what a professional journalist should do. You're going to see that quite a lot. What do you think his next tweet is after this, by the way? He goes, you mean Thorin? A month later. The same guy that literally hates Reckless. Not dislikes, but hates him, a guy he never met. By the way, he's just read my mind there. I don't just dislike him, I hate him. I hate him. Explicitly, I don't dislike him. I hate him. A guy he never met. How do you know who I've met? Have I ever been to LCS, EULCS, when Reckless was a player in the EULCS? I have. You didn't know that, of course, because this all happened in your mind. But I've never met him. I've never met him, right? Interesting. Then he goes, this is just rich. 28th of September. Get ready, boys. Caps and Reckless have always been good friends, even when Caps was on G2 and Fnatic and Reckless on Fnatic. How would you know that? Have you read their minds? Did you? You read their minds. You just have a feeling, don't you? Hooked on a feeling. That's your problem. Caps was all for Reckless joining G2. Lol. Anyone see that recent news lined up on what I heard? You know the players who wanted Reckless out? Caps and Yankos won it. You know Caps, that player who won both the LCS splits, LEC, and then, well, it wasn't LEC at the time, but you know what I mean, LEC, both of them, then went to Worlds, made it to the final of Worlds, and then was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave this team that has Reckless in. MVP of one of the splits, by the way. I don't want to play with this guy anymore. I want to go to this team instead. Oh, he loves him because on a stream, I guess he went, yeah, I sort of like Reckless or whatever. And this guy goes, right, column, facts. Fact, Caps likes Reckless and wanted to play with him. Then I go, I've heard basically behind the scenes, like some of the players in G2 don't like Reckless. And he goes, right, opinions column. That's totally unsubstantiated. That's just an opinion. He can't possibly know anything. You see what I mean? These people, hall monitors of the world, don't really tend to be very stable people. Because here's the thing. Who would want to be a mod? Who would want to be a hall monitor? A fucking loser who has nothing going on in their life and no power at all. Here's a great one. This guy goes, no wonder Thorin has blocked me. 23rd July. He just can't accept truth. Anyways, hope it was a good episode. Let's have a look what he might have said to get blocked. Thorin and his cancer tweets. Same shit every day. Let's see what my cancer tweet was, shall we? I said, I'm sceptical of the results of the online era, but if you're a professional player right now, especially in a time when so many people are hurting for work, that's irrelevant for you. I mean, that's just cancer, isn't it? What a cancer tweet. But luckily, guys, he's told me the truth. What he says is just truth. Again, he's got that reality store or whatever it was, and he's just making reality wherever he wants it to be. I can't accept the truth, so I've had to block him, haven't I? It couldn't just be that that's a stupid comment to say, and I thought, what the fuck's that? Just deleting it, see you block, and I'll move on with my life. Here's a good one. This guy is talking about what a weirdo I am for blocking people, and then he goes, are you ready? One of the classics. He goes, pretty sure I've never even interacted with the guy and he has me blocked. LMAO. A classic tell, by the way, is that they say I never even interacted with him at all. Right, one, that's irrelevant. You could see someone saying stupid stuff to Richard Lewis and block them. You could see someone liking loads of tweets that are like, I hope this guy gets fired. This guy has cancer. Wow, autist. And that would be a totally reasonable reason to block them and just go, I don't really want this guy around. Quite frankly, if that's the sort of thing he likes. But also, they could have deleted the tweet. Might have done a heinous tweet and just deleted it and go, we haven't even interacted with him. But also, there's loads of them like this who are such morons. They go, I've never even interacted with him. Right, just scroll down. Look how many times if you go down. Oh, look. What's this? He's interacting with me. That's literally my account, guys. And it says, yeah, I haven't followed CS in years. And I always thought you were a moronic scumbag. This furthers and confirms my thought. But remember, he's never interacted with me. I'm just really weird that I just block people for no reason. Then, how about this one? Same year. He goes, I knew nothing about the situation, so I thought that meant fascist and was really confused how it was homophobic. Oh, it's going to be about how I'm homophobic. Brilliant. Then he goes, but for real, how can anyone think this isn't homophobic? LMAO. I always hated Thorin. Never interacted with me. And then he comes when, obviously this year, way after he's been blocked, he goes, here for my obligatory fuck Thorin. Then he's just talking about me apparently about all of the internet. Then he goes, man, this guy and Thorin were an utter pain to have to listen to when I was a CSGO spectator in like 2014 to 2015. Then he comes to this one. I still don't understand why this dude hasn't been removed yet. He's a general douchebag. I generally thought 4 years ago he'd be gone by now. Disappointing. But then, of course, he's never interacted with me ever, has he? You know, which one of us seems like we're, got a little bit of a screw loose and maybe should be blocked by the other one? Here's a good one. So, Bwipo did a show called The Crackdown, and on it we were talking about the situation with LS, like what's going on, why is he being like harassed by fans, why is it now up in the air whether he's going to get the coaching job at T1, and so I explained a whole bunch of things about Korean culture, and that essentially in South Korea, it's not like explicitly banned to be homosexual, it's not like openly hated on publicly, like billboards and people just start saying crazy shit in public, but it's sort of, there's a soft version of that, like go look up what happens in the Korean military, go look in certain job scenarios if you would keep that secret, if it was kind of a don't ask, don't tell scenario, or definitely don't fucking tell me, because we don't like that scenario. Lord, have a look at some of that. So I told a load of truths, because I've lived in Korea. I've literally known gay people who live in Korea. I know a gay person now who lives in Korea. I have contacts in Korea. I've known pro players that were gay in Korea and had to keep it secret. I've known all kinds of things that were going on there. That's why Dom told a story on that episode that one of the people in Team Liquid, there's actually more than one because it's a massive org, is actually gay themselves. And when they went to Korea, they were basically told, I think by the translator, like, yeah, just don't mention that while you're in Korea. Like, just don't say that at all. Now, why would they do that? He's a total foreigner. He's not even from their country. Why would that be an issue? Exactly. Think it through. So when I said all this, because in doing so, Whippo also criticised Effort, who was the person who was like, I can't remember the story now, he's streaming in somewhere that like leaked something about some bullshit like this. Basically, T1 behind the scenes came and pressured Whippo, like, how dare you say that about Effort? You must apologise. And also, like, how dare you say this stuff about Koreans and T1 and all this stuff, along with this Thorin guy that you're agreeing with or just allowing to give his opinion. And Whippo, like a little cock, like someone who has a fucking AK off the side of the camera and is literally reading, like, scared a fucking script before they shoot him in his fucking head. He has to just betray everyone before he's killed. Just basically gave a whole twit longer where he explained, like, you know, how he actually regrets that he didn't sort of like speak up and interrupt me and not allow me to give my opinion, and that my opinion was probably ignorant, etc. It's basically just sold us all out completely. And so I just said, that since he insists on publicly siding with liars, he is blacklisted. You won't see him on my content anymore. And that fuck people who appease liars, who aim to do to the careers of me and my friends, LS, harm unjustly. And this guy just comes in and goes, to be honest, I feel like that's a bit unfair. Oh, do you? Well, you know what? I don't really care about your feelings. Your feelings are irrelevant in this situation. It's between me and Whippo. You are in a parasocial relationship. I don't know who you are. He goes, he was apologising to Effort and clearing up what mess he might have made. I don't think he was necessarily siding with them. He literally said essentially what is their position, agreed with it, and said that he basically should have actually not allowed me to speak. He's also a friend of LS. I don't think he did it on purposely though. I don't care what you think. I am a friend of LS. Why would I need to take your interpretation? Why would it be of any interest to me at all? Why would I need you to say, actually, your lived experience is wrong, your evaluation of this is wrong, your information is wrong, and I'm going to clean this up for you. I'm just going to explain to you what he actually said, because you're a cretin, you can't possibly understand it. I'm going to explain what he actually meant to say in this scenario. So after that, he comes along and he goes, I got blocked a long time ago when him and Whippo were having drama. By drama, he means Whippo selling me down the fucking road. He means Whippo selling me down the river to a Korean org just because of some pressure on him and fucking over his own friend and siding with the people who have literally sparked an anti-gay protest against him being hired. And then he goes, and I defended Whippo in a pretty mature manner. Yeah, it's very mature the way he did that. Lol, dude is a fucking loser. They always, by the way, have the mega salty reply in the end. Like, the second you block them, they become the ultimate hater. Guess why? Because I don't miss. I know actually how to interpret people's character. I know what the flags are, the red flags. I know what the warning signs are for a hater. And I never fucking miss. This guy goes, oh, I'm blocked. Okay, that seems extreme. Let's see what he said. So what happened was, someone says, like, dude just doesn't like your content. Not everyone has to, and he's entitled to his opinion. Well, you know what? I'm entitled to my opinion about his opinion on my Twitter. Notice I'm not replying to anyone. I don't know Bri-J. So I go, guess what I'm posting halfwit? That's right, it's my opinion. Where did I say he had to like my content or wasn't entitled to an opinion? Oh, I didn't, and in no way implied any of that. Thanks for wasting my time, moron. And this guy goes, when you post something, you can't complain about people interacting with it. All right, let me just check the rule book of the Bird app again. Shit, he's right. Rule 7, subsection B, when you post something, you're not allowed to complain about people interacting with it. Even though he's complaining about me complaining. Ah, fuck. Oh, it hurts. Oh, make it stop. Just can't, can we? This guy's brilliant. I even put him in the fucking thumbnail. I thought it was so hilarious. So he's replying, of all people, to Malice, you know, that cool guy recently, who was arguing with I Will Dominate about, like, ranking of video game players at a video game tournament. And because he disagreed, you know, like, maybe number 1 should be number 4, because, my God, And when I Will Dominate just sort of like went back at him a little bit and poked, he just basically went straight to sort of like, yeah, but you're a paedophile who fucks underage girls. And then later it turned out like he had to apologise and be like, actually, my sources were off on that one, like just essentially fucking hearsay. That's who this guy is, and this is who he's interacting with. He goes, apparently I'm blocked by Thorin because I once, exclamation point, commented a tweet that he was linked in and he didn't like my tweet. What a great journalist, blocking opinions that conflict with his own. 10 out of 10. He should try working for the Chinese state. Oh, we got all the red flags. This is like bingo, bingo, ding, ding, ding. I've got bingo, guys. So I'm in some way, it makes me not a good journalist because of people I block on Twitter. And what is it I've done on Twitter? I've blocked opinions that conflict with my own. Let's go and see later whether these are just opinions that conflict with my own. Like I say, I actually like the band Pink Floyd. And he goes, oh, I actually prefer the Beatles. And I go, oh, fucking, but ban him, censor him. Because that's the thing. I should try working for the Chinese state. An actual governmental entity that directly blocks access to the internet to citizens and suppresses actually freedom of speech in most scenarios, even outside of the internet. Yeah, me blocking someone, I don't want to see what they say, on a free bird app, it's kind of like what the Chinese state is doing, isn't it? That's not at all a hysterical, like, overly sensitive take from a possibly mentally ill person who's really overinvested in what happened on a free internet bird app. But let's go down, shall we? Let's see what sort of things he said. Imagine calling himself an esports journalist. Anytime they say journalist or esports, they're implying, by the way, I'm not one. Even though, again, the essence of what I've done for 20 years professionally is being an esports journalist. But he goes, imagine calling yourself an esports journalist while living in your own bubble and hard censoring everyone you disagree with. That means if I have 210,000 followers, right, I must actually agree with all those people by his logic. I think that's somewhat of a mental take. He goes, I got blocked. Oh, another thought. He's now had 2 times in 2 different years he's told the story of why he was blocked. Because it's really, really important that other people know why he was blocked. XM Puff on Twitter. He goes, I got blocked by Thorin because I compared him to Keemstar. By the way, someone who is known to be a drama monger and essentially does sort of like, it's just drama-based journalism, isn't it? Or, I don't know what you'd say, commentary in that kind of scenario. And he does interviews as well. He goes, I got blocked by Thorin because I compared him to Keemstar in a response to someone else's tweet and didn't even at him. Like, what the fuck? So let's hope when we go back, he's not ever replying to my tweets or to me. Because he knows why he was blocked. Another tell for you guys. When they get blocked, they just decide. They pick a reason out of anywhere and just go, I was blocked there because I liked a tweet or followed a guy and he has botnets. Even though when you go back, you can search all this shit and if they haven't deleted it, you find some wild shit. So based on what he's saying, right, you would think he's never added me. He's never commented in a tweet thread I'm in. He's definitely never commented something to me. So let's go back. In a thread, he goes, where he's now in threads of mine while blocked, replying to people who are replying to me, because he can do that. The block function only stops him replying to me directly. And in doing so, having debates with them and explaining to them that I block people. This is nothing crazy. This is like a shop saying, like, you're banned from here. And so you just stand outside the shop for the next week. And everyone that tries to go in, you go, you know what, they kicked me out and they're totally unfair. And that they're really fucked up and they call themselves a vitamin shop. But they're not in any way, though. Like, they only sell the shit vitamin. Like, there's nothing reasonable about this behaviour. Let's go. He goes, he's always acting like this super tough guy who wins every argument. But everyone who even remotely talk back at him just gets blocked. Lol. That sort of automatically makes him look like a bitch, to be honest. Now, let's hope that he's just remotely talking back. He doesn't say anything out of pocket, guys. I mean, how would he get in this video if he was so reasonable? I just don't know. I'm interested to find out myself. So let's go down. Still talking about it. He goes, I just realised I'm blocked by Thorin. I don't even know why. I'm just some random Twitter user who commented a Thorin tweet like once. That's weird. He commented a Thorin tweet like once, but then if you go the next month, he says that he just compared me to Keemstar, didn't even at me in someone else's tweet. So already his story's changed. You know, he's thinking about it a lot. He's trying to advance the plot. It's like you think, that's not a good enough story. Like, how would I update that? Because there's another thing they do. Here's another tell. Because they're fuck-ups, and you've done essentially nothing to them because it's all their own baggage, it's their own mental illness manifesting. They just picked you as the target. You're going to be the theme they sprinkle like Salt Bae over the fucking steak that is their blatant, overbearing mental illness and or shit life with nothing going on in it. So what they do in this scenario, basically, is they try to make it sound way worse than it is, exaggerate, lie about why you blocked them, because they want the person they're talking to have the same feeling about you that they have. And so because they're incredibly bitter, twisted, hateful, they feel like you've done anything, it's unfair, they have to try and lie, hoping that the person believes that and goes, oh my God, that's outrageous. Yeah, he's a fucked up person. Yes, yes. Remember, in hell, even the demons suffer. So what happens is, what they like to do is, they can't escape hell, they're a demon. So what they want to do is get as many people down there as possible and get this little bunch of people gnashing and wailing in the darkness without the fucking bright light of God's presence, which would have healed these fucks. So let's keep going, because remember, he's never saying any crazy shit. Let's go to the next one. He says, you left out the last tweet in which Thorin blackmailed LS into deleting his tweets. You're going to see this quite commonly, right? They say I blackmailed LS. You know what blackmail is? It's when you say, if you don't do what I say now, give me money, give me access, kill something, like remove something, I'm going to release this information, this sex tape, this material, this evidence, and in doing so, I have a leverage over you. Until this is somehow neutralized, you must do what I say, assuming it's really important to you and you don't want me to do it. Now, I said to LS, when I was having an argument with him on Twitter, I said, basically, the gist was, like, I should have released a video that we did a while ago. Like, I have to start, basically, and I said, basically, I have to start being more responsible for the monsters I've created. Because what people don't know is, I've on occasion let LS slide with some mad out of pocket behaviour, privately and publicly, to people who are like colleagues and friends of mine, people I know aren't fucked up in the community, because that day, he was having a little bitch fit, or he's feeling a little bit sensitive, or no one knows, maybe he's been up 40 hours, maybe he's just finished a really stressful thing, and for whatever reason, he's just blowing it out and venting it, like when he went mad on grabs, like he's gone mad on a few people on different scenarios, like he went mad on me on this day. And so what I was basically saying to him was, I once had a video, an episode he did, where you don't know what happened in it, but actually what happened was he did something similar on this particular video. But as his friend, I thought, you know what? Everyone can have a bad day. Everyone can make a mistake. Fuck it. And I told him, you know what? Forget about it. I'll delete this video. It'll never be released. We won't basically tank your fucking career because you had a tantrum. So what I was pointing out to him was, if you're going to treat me like shit publicly, call me a retard on your stream because I have a different opinion about the middling of Gen G, and then come back and forth at me like this being toxic. You know what, in that scenario, mate, I wish I had just released that now. Maybe people needed to see who you were, if that's who you're going to continue to be, after you've had chance after chance. Now what happened was, I don't have the video anymore. So it cannot possibly be blackmail, but you already see this guy is pretty unstable. So let's keep going. So then, in the reply, remember, it wasn't to me. Oh, wait, I'm tagged in the thread. He didn't at me, but I'm added in the thread. Do you know how Twitter works? He goes, so Thorin is basically the Keemstar of eSport. Remember, that's all he said. No. He goes, a sociopath who helps people, with or without consent, to blackmail them later. Not blackmail. Did I help him with or without consent? What does that even mean? Basically, so basically, I helped LS without him consenting. I actually rape helped LS. I forced him to be helped. And then I secretly gathered blackmail evidence that I say I do not explicitly have to leverage over him so he has to do what I say. This is almost like the words of an unwell person, isn't it? Weird how that works. Here's a good one. This person goes, why am I blocked by Thorin? Hilarious face. Then another one. Haha! Just realised I'm blocked by Thorin. What did I do? LOL. Then let's go back here. Month or two before that. When LS basically says, look at literally what he says. And imagine being a fan of his and reading this and going, I'm just going to discount it completely and still be a complete arsehole. He goes, feel really bad about this. I've spoken many times about how BDD is underappreciated, even having a 2-hour stream about it once this summer. So I got very defensive over the tweets and responded rudely to a long-time friend, someone who has helped me a lot in my entire career. So this guy just goes, I'm going to ignore all that because I have a parasocial relationship with you, LS. And he goes, it's really obvious what's going on here. And it sucks for LS to get threatened on his birthday. Threatened with what? An imaginary thing that I can't do. And he goes, really trash of Thorin. So I'm trash. Can't imagine why this guy's blocked. Is there any reason? There's no reason. Madness, isn't it? How about this? This guy goes, because he's been blocked. He goes, the hate comes, now he's just speaking on behalf of everyone blocked. The hate comes from him needing to create an echo chamber of his own opinions. I liked a tweet from someone disagreeing with his point and he blocked me. He's done this to others too, LMAO. Right, so remember, an echo chamber is where, because it's an echo, you hear your own voice reflect, like, what would it be? Fucking, I'm not actually sure what it's called when it comes back. Whatever, return to you from the surface of those areas. Basically, when you do that, you don't want any other opinions. And it's really bad to create an echo chamber, because if you actually shut out legitimate opinions, you can't have potential growth, you can't encounter new information, you can't alter your own, someone can't make a good point. So let's see, right? Remember, he thinks I've just banned him because he liked a tweet, right? Because remember, he's also so ill, he's assigning and mind reading why I blocked him, because he's a nutter. So let's look if he's ever tweeted at me, right? And remember, it would be creating an echo chamber to want to shut out any of these comments, because it's really important I allow them to come in from the fringes and potentially influence me so that I can be intellectually honest. TSM wanted. Thorin real quiet on right now. L, question mark, here before delete. I can't imagine why I would think shutting those out wouldn't really be sort of a net negative in my intellectual life and growth. Napalm 02. Who do you guys think Thorin and Richard Lewis will block today? Bets? Then he's responding to Frankie Ward, right? Hosting CSGO and many other games. He goes, you gotta be shitting me. Thorin has you blocked? I knew he liked to block dissenting opinions of nobodies. But actual people in the industry? LMAO. Yeah, well that's the thing, right? There's a rule that says, as long as Frankie picks up a mic, talks in it and gets paid, I can never block her for anything she does or says because she's in the industry. It's outrageous, isn't it? Now, by the way, by this guy's logic, no woman in the esports industry can ever block me or Richard Lewis. If they do, they're a fucking joke, aren't they? There's something really wrong with them. They're just blocking dissenting opinions, right? Notice we never complain about blocks. Here's what people don't know. Frankie Ward, the first ever instance I ever actually have seen on record when I go back in history of her having anything to do with me, her first choice at an interaction with me in the esports industry was she won an award in, I think, 2018 and used her literal video acceptance speech for the award to call out my behaviour and describe it as like it doesn't belong in esports, and has never, to my knowledge, publicly apologised or retracted that statement. But I'm not allowed to block her because she's in the industry and this guy hopes she sees the tweet. Here's a good one. He's talking to Semler, friend and colleague of mine, and he goes, yeah, I've been hit with a bad case of being randomly blocked by Thorin. What's happening at On Fire Semler? Two things. One, another mad tell that they're nutters is they go to your friends and colleagues and they think like a secretary, that guy is going to like pass on a message for you. As though when I talk to Semler, he's going to go, by the way, pull out like a fucking loose leaf binder. The following people, Thorin, would like to know, and I can take the information back to them and tell them, because I'd like to waste my life on this as well. They'd like to know why they were blocked, because it's actually very important that you acknowledge this. There's an appeals process here. It's actually like the court system. And basically, you have to tell me why, and then if they think it's good enough, they request to be unblocked. This is the behaviour of someone deeply unstable. But remember, he was randomly blocked. So let's go back here. He goes, when I was working at Blast, he goes, great job. Please black out everything Thorin, okay? So on my broadcast, he tells people I'm working with, including the producer, to just black me out entirely so I'm not on the broadcast. Almost seems like that's a stupid thing to say, but that's not it. Same event. He goes, yeah, last I heard, Thorin tags me, randomly blocked, had a fat stick up his bum. Already, I think I know what buttons I'm clicking, right? 2 clicks in it. He goes, had a fat stick up his butt, 3 clicks actually, due to some choices made to be a part of / not be a part of specific leagues by Astralis GG and Astralis Group. Luckily, far more real casters, so I'm not a real caster. By the way, I'm not a commentator, I'm not a caster. I haven't actually tried to be a caster since I think 2011, so he doesn't even know my role. Listen to Maniac points before today's match, for instance. Weird how. Almost seems like a really stupid thing to say. Then earlier he goes, wow, same day. That's a truly nonsense cheap shot, Thorin. Really quite disappointed to see from you. Carrigan is barely clinging on. So basically, him saying I've got to stick up my bomb all over Astralis choosing what leagues to be a part of. Right, so basically it's about Flashpoint. And he's just decided in his brain, everything I ever say about Astralis is about Flashpoint. And I've got to stick up my bomb. And please, director, Just black out everything about me. And also, I'm not even a real caster, just listen to Maniac. But I've just randomly blocked him, haven't I? That's fucking weird. I must be really unstable. I just take a D20, I roll it, and I go, right, it's 19. So whoever the 19th comment is, gotta block him, haven't I? Randomly. This guy is fucking unreal. He's one guy who keeps basically saying I'm racist, all this stuff. He goes, absolutely disgusting behaviour. There's a new law even for him. Can't believe shit like this is still happening in 2021. He goes, he's in this echo chamber where everyone who tries to say anything even remotely critical of Thorin, they get blocked instantly. Dangerous precedent for a journalist. So it's dangerous that a journalist will block anyone because all he's done is say something remotely critical. They love to do that, by the way. They always downplay what they did and go like, I just said what I thought. I had a differing opinion. I just was remotely, I guess I sort of slightly was critical of him. And then you see what the tweets are like. Get ready. This is amazing, mate. He goes, don't bother with Thorin, man. As far as I know, he likes to stalk drama for no reason at all, be it CS or League of Legends. I can't see the tweet. I got blocked long ago, even though I've never interacted with him. So he better have never tweeted at me on my timeline when we go down here. But I can only imagine he said some weird shit. By the way, it keeps going while blocked. He goes, Thorin is absolutely disgusting. He loves riling up the CS and the League community for no good reason. Getting blocked by him is a badge of honour. So let's keep going down. He replies to Jacob Wolf and he goes, Thorin and hypocrisy? Name a better duo. I honestly can't believe the stuff he says sometimes. Like, who hurt you, man? You good? Are you good? Who hurt you? What, me blocking you hurt you so badly? You just keep going till the end of time. And every time someone mentions me block, you jump in, you tell the little story. Oh, and you know he does it for this reason. So let's go down. Remember, he's never ever interacted with me. Oh, wait, I'm in a tweet thread he's in. And he goes, Thorin is literally the Destiny of esports. Do you know who the Destiny of esports is? Destiny, you stupid cunt. He was a StarCraft 2 pro and streamer. He's the Destiny of esports. Shit, comment in it. And since Destiny couldn't be more different from me, I'm not interested in reading that. But then if you go down, are you ready? This is great. If you go back just a few months before that, before I blocked him and became a disgusting person and this evil fuck and in banned people who never even interact, he goes, this has to be the funniest Crackdown episode in a while, man. Thorin and Carlos have zero chill. There's another tell. They're fans. They're fans, but they have no social skills. So when they utterly stupidly say some stupid thing because they're triggered that day, maybe mom burned their tendies, or the fucking milk was slightly sour when they put it in their fucking Captain Crunch bowl or whatever, they basically go from being someone who loved you, that same emotional feeling and investments there, it sours, it rots on the vine and becomes hate. And now they have to preach the fucking gospel of why you're a piece of shit who shouldn't even be in the industry. But literally, at the end of last year, is loving the episodes, isn't he? This is fucking mental. This guy goes, that's why I said not sure. Is this the only interaction? Because I don't get how that upsets him if I'm agreeing with him. And then he basically goes, I'm blocked too, only from Thorin, and I'm not sure I ever interacted with him. Notice later someone finds that he interacted with me. He goes, I suspect the same people use bots that check if you follow someone they have blocked or some kind of weird hate list and add you to a block list. Really weird. He completely fantasizes about what I'm doing using like fucking advanced technology and then goes, that's really weird. No, it's really weird to sit around after being blocked fucking speculating and coming up with mad fantasy stories. Like, you fucking, who are you? Fucking some like George R.R. Martin coming up with your own fantasy universe and all my motivations and telling the story from my perspective. Then he goes down, he goes, I'm blocked too, and I'm not sure I've ever interacted with him. Oh, same shit. He just says the same shit to two different people. Then what is it he said to me last before I blocked him? I said, and read, this better be an outrageous tweet. I said, like, the T1 fans saying this about LS's sexuality, like, it's so fucked up, it's well known in the Korean scene and has been for many years. And he goes, yeah, that's some real Donald Trump shit. There we go. That's some, he said the cursed name, guys. It's Donald Trump, isn't it? Anyone says anything you don't like, even just the tone, you're bloody Donald Trump. Weird, why is he blocked? He's never even interacted with me. He's never, like, said Donald Trump to me. He's never interacted with me, guys. I'm just unstable. I use bots that just check if he follows someone, and then they just block him, like those fucking sentinels in the Matrix coming from the Nebuchadnezzar, right? I just sent them on their way. This one's a fucking amazing one. This guy is so mental, it's unreal. He's like got a million stories, if you go down, about why... This is why I blocked him. Like, it seems... maybe it's just, like, going through and seeing, like, anyone who follows this person's not something I want to hear from, speculating all over the place. So let's go down, right? He goes here, I'm 90% sure he just blocked an entire list of people who follow personalities he doesn't like, Froscorin if I had to guess. Then he goes, I used to follow and watch his content. Don't think I interacted with him since I stopped. Now blocked. Then, to literally 2 people who were colleagues of mine, one a friend, he goes, imagine not being blocked by Thorin. Already seems like a bit of a nutter, right? Then he's a Nemesis fan. Then he's arguing with me all over the place down here. Now here's the thing. Think it through, right? Why would I want someone who goes, imagine not being blocked by Thorin? Yeah, you get blocked then. Oh, look at this comment here. This is interesting, right? Are you ready? Let's just see let's see what he's responding. Remember, just because he follows someone, it's not because he's interacted with me. I said a quote where I said, I don't know who your sources are, so they don't exist. And you made the whole thing up because that's what fans tell me. Now here's his fucking 500 IQ response that I really need to hear from someone I don't know exists. He goes, regardless of what you're referencing, surely the easiest way to silence these fans and truly mock them would be to sensitively share sources. So when a fan says, you're lying, that's made up, even though I have an incredible track record of integrity and never lying in my professional work, I should just, instead of saying, this is nonsense, I should just say, right, I'll just sensitively tell you guys who all my private sources are. By the way, if they were private sources, why wouldn't they just go on record themselves if they wanted to be public? If that was fine, and that wouldn't just ruin my entire credibility, why wouldn't I just start out by saying I was told by the player and the fucking owner all that? They want an utter cretin. But remember, it couldn't be stupid things like this that tell me how to do my job. That could be why I would block someone, right? This is a pretty good one. I got blocked while I never interacted with him. Then, when I'm nominated for an award, Thorin is a finalist for Esports Journalist of the Year. Omega lol. Then he goes, so when is Thorin getting cancelled? Then he goes, someone come up with an extension that will blur out and mute Thorin from podcasts, thanks. Why would I want to block someone like that? Yeah, it's not like they're just a nutter talking about the internet, saying things that seem like they're pretty hostile about me. I'm already blocked for asking why he found something so important. Again, notice the way the tone comes right down, the energy comes right down, and they're so reasonable. He's just asking why I think something's important. So let's go and see. What was it he asked me that I think's, important, that isn't important? I go, people who think Froscorin was always like she is now, where she's saying horrible shit about all sorts of things to do with gender and race. I go, presumably because they're ignorant or just dislike her personality, are so wrong. I'm saying she wasn't like this. She was a different person. She was a really cool person. She even actually was like a little bit based and would sort of fight for guys or something. Like, they're not quite like that. Like, there's another reason they say these things that you're misinterpreting. And I say, check out the tweets in this thread from as recent as late 2017, where she actually comes out and defends me and Richard Lewis because PC Games N had a fucking cretin who knows nothing about esports take in threads and information from other disgruntled esports journalists who were on a low level and try to write a hit piece saying I shouldn't be allowed to represent esports and imply I'm homophobic, racist, misogynist, transphobic, all the good shit. So then I say, she also used to be a voice of reason and compassion in subreddits that are notoriously anti-men and anti-gamers. Now this guy, think about what I'm saying, I'm making a very important point here about Froscorin. He just comes in and goes, is anyone other than you still talking about this? Everyone else on my timeline has moved on, but you just can't let it go. Well, you know what? He doesn't have to ever see me on his timeline again. I've sorted that for him. I've taken his complaint and I've actually given him what he wants. Oh no, he just wanted me to not talk on command from him on the basis that other people aren't talking about. Like, I can't just give my thoughts about Froscorin and things from the past because he's decided that's the case, right? By the way, if you wonder what sort of person he is, his profile pic is a cat, an animal that cannot catch coronavirus, actually having a fucking mask on it, a surgical mask. So we know he's definitely a fucking sane person, right? This is a fucking amazing one. He goes, yeah, I'm blocked too. What the fuck? I don't think I ever messaged Thorin once. Kind of pathetic on his part. So he's created a thing where I'm just crazy. I've blocked him. And how pathetic for someone who's never even messaged him, right? Then let's go down. He goes, he's blocked me and I've literally never sent a single message. If you follow people, are you ready? Like Bernie Sanders, AOC, he will block you out of spite. He's just literally imagined that I just block everyone, the millions of people who follow those people. And he goes, he's a cunt. So you got to wait for what he definitely never said to me, because this is crazy. I'm just a cunt. I'm actually blocking every Bernie Sanders follower. He goes, I'm pretty sure Thorin and I Will Dominate are checking into the same unit that her Shin is at for after today. Think through what the implication there is if you know League of Legends. And then basically, if you go back, he goes, LMFAO, Thorin made his entire career No hysterical thing. Remember, he's never tweeted out here interacting with me. Made his entire career off doing nothing but crying. This clown is projecting more than a damn IMAX. Oh, shit! Oh! Ah! Super hot fire. Here's another one. He goes, just a reminder, you said people of Polish ancestry don't deserve to reproduce. I have never said that in my entire life. And retweeted many white nationalist posts, also a lie. You are the last person to be lecturing about professionalism. But remember, he's never interacted with me or tweeted at me. He probably just follows Bernie Sanders. Here's a good one. He goes, so agree with everything Thorin. Oh, blocked. Never mind, carry on. See, as soon as you don't just agree with me, I just block you. That's what I do to everyone, including Bernie Sanders followers. Then he goes, so this dumpster of fire of a comment section you see this dumpster fire of a comment section you've started, right? Insinuating that all women in esports fucked their way to the position they hold. You're a trash bag of a human being. By the way, saying you're a trash bag of a human being is just not agreeing with everything I say. Let's see what comment he's replying to, because it must be fucking heinous for that to be the reaction, right? When Lena, who actually did fuck an employee of hers, she hired her boyfriend to join TSM as a starting player and then gave him a contract extension. She had a tweet that said something like, it's not that hard to not be a dick to people. So I took that tweet and I said, it's not that hard to not have sex with people who work for you. Because guess what? That's entirely inappropriate and causes a conflict of interest. So that's where he takes that comment and says, I'm insinuating that all women in esports fucked their way to the position they hold, and I'm a trash bag human being. I think you can see what the problem here is, and it certainly isn't on my end of the monitor, right? This is a good one. Thorin hates TSM. He blocked me because I said shush. Before this, after being blocked, fuck Thorin. Here we go. Go down a bit. Though Thorin, because that's what he's collecting there, though Thorin blocked me, I've never interacted with him before, but I assume he saw in a TSM fan and just blocked me. That's weird. But up here, later, they say I blocked them because they said shush. But they've never interacted with me when you go back earlier the same year. Then, what did Thorin say? He blocked me. Oh, by the way, even though they hate me, I'm trash, fuck me, they really desperately want to see what I say. But again, like I said earlier, they're not smart enough to log out of Twitter or use a different browser. Then when you go down, let's just go down here. Let's just go to where the person said shush, right? Because what did they say? I told him to shush because he shouldn't speak on things he is clearly biased on. I shouldn't speak on things I'm clearly biased on. Okay. Oh, that's really weird. Where did it go? Let's see what the Thorin shush was all about, right? So let's see what I said originally. I said, because basically the video came out where it was leaked while Doublelift was streaming, that Lena was just talking in the background on the phone to someone else, not only so Doublelift could hear what Dardoch's contract negotiation situation was, but she was telling someone else, which then got leaked to everyone. No one wants Dardoch, it's not my fault. And I just say, well, there goes Dardoch's leverage in any kind of trade. Took these geniuses less than 2 weeks to show how the conflict of interest inherent in their relationship could fuck up their team's dealings. And this person goes, Thorin, shush. Guy with a fucking anime avatar, 77 followers, says that they are TSM fan, goes, shush. And why would they say that? Because the person, as they said earlier, they say, I told him to shush because he shouldn't speak on things he is clearly biased on. They're a TSM fan in their own bio, ignoring an actual ethical conflict of interest with professional ethics on the line, ruining a young man's career. But this person is another hall monitor, so they get to tell me I just shouldn't speak. Why have I blocked them? Because remember, that's outrageous that I blocked them, even though they've never interacted with me before, but I just saw they were a TSM fan and blocked them. Nothing unwell about this individual, right? Here's a good one. I put, because a guy is comparing Monte Cristo to Donald Trump, and me, Thorin, to, I think, Boris Johnson, the leader of my country, the United Kingdom. I just put, and this is someone who works in the actual industry of esports, right? And I just put, imagine being this unwell and going out of your way to let the world know. And he goes, Isn't this kind of ironic considering it posted a year ago? Am I missing something? You're missing something because you don't understand any of the context. And by the way, this isn't a dinner party where it's like, catch me up, guys. What's been going on? If you don't know, it ain't for you, dickhead. So this guy is saying it's ironic. Now, irony is when something is the opposite of what the expectation would be. So the irony of me saying, imagine being this unwell and going out your way to let the world know. The irony is I'm unwell and I'm going out my way to let the world know. It almost seems like he's saying I'm unwell and I should maybe just block this guy since he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then he says, considering it posted a year ago, right? There's a moratorium on these things, right, guys? I'm not allowed to talk about people in the industry saying crazy shit about me once like a year has passed. Once a year's passed, Shane, the hall monitor of Twitter, says like, well, now at that point in time, this just shows you're unwell and going out your way to let the world know. But why have I blocked him? Like later on, basically, there's a tweet where he just says like he doesn't understand why he's blocked. I think maybe even asks Semler to unblock me as well. This guy goes, bruh, same. He was literally flaming Device for no reason a while ago, so I just said grope and got blocked for that. LMFAO, what a child. Now let's go back. He does just say, you are such a child, it's unbelievable. Then he had just a shitty tweet before that. Just an idiot post, to be honest, where when I'd said, if CSGO was not a team game, Nico and Simple would have had Flash, Jaedong, Rafa, Cypher levels of absurd success in winning trophies. Because if it was a 1v1 game, they are the best players to ever play the game. And he goes, wow, incredible point. I never looked at it that way. If a team game wasn't a team game, the best individuals would win the most. Am I not allowed to say that? Am I not allowed to, in doing so, explain to fans that only specifically these players would have been godlike individual players? Other people like Device wouldn't have been. They would have actually needed more help from their teammates. But that's irrelevant, right? Because this guy's so dumb, stupid people, like the old Bertrand Russell quote, they have to make your intelligent, complicated thoughts fit into their simplistic, dumbass brain. And then they go, look how simplistic and dumbass this comment is. I'm just going to wreck this guy completely. Now, why on earth would I block this guy? Remember, he says that I was flaming Device for literally no reason, right? I made a joke about how Carrigan always beats Astralis, and Device wigged out completely, told me I'm not allowed to like pat them on the back and congratulate them when they're on top again, and essentially attacked me, then went behind the scenes with Astralis, pressured Blast, so Blast essentially told me, like, well, are you going to keep tweeting about Astralis stuff? And I was like, yes. So is that a problem with you? And they were like, well, we don't want you to tweet about it if you're going to keep working with us. And I just basically told them to shove it up their arse and left Blast entirely. But no, I'm just flaming him for no reason because presumably he's a fan of Device. So first of all, this guy's just replying to loads of people who've replied to me because he's also one of those nutters where when he's blocked, he just keeps replying to other people who go out. And he replies to Jake Sucky, a fucking actual cretin piece of shit who masquerades as a journalist or some sort of scene commentator and doesn't know fuck all. He goes, Thorin blocked me because I rhymed one of his tweets with Thorin dies. Man talks shit all day long on Twitter but can't take it himself. Again, doesn't understand asymmetrical relationships. Then he keeps telling the same story. Lol, I literally rhymed it. I thought it was funny. Sure, I don't like the guy, but I'm not wishing he dies. This tweet's going to be very carefully worded that he doesn't think I'm going to die. Let's keep going down. Lol, I don't watch CSGO. I can't type Thorin died just because it rhymed. Shut up. Keep going down. It's just going to unfollow everyone. Lol, he blocked me for that. Let's keep going down. Lol, what's he talking about? He's usually being a dick, so let's go see. What was he replying to that was appropriate to say Thorin died? I put Astralis slide, Vitality tried, and someone I don't know exists goes, Thorin died. Yeah, how hilarious that I'm dying. I've died. I'm dead. Oh, yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Why would I block that? I'm just an idiot, aren't I? Wait, did he reply? Kind of blocked by him as well, so he's blocked by Richard Lewis as well, I'm guessing. So, by the way, this guy is a Three Clips Philip fan. And if you ever saw, they are not only the most casual, they know fuck all about the esports scene. They are mentally ill. They are just in love with, basically posted a guy riding a bike that had a dildo on the seat going up his arse the whole time he was riding it. He posted that as a reply to someone, by the way. He's posting stupid shit here. Let's just keep going down. Look how many fucking things in this thread. 1 million replies. Basically, he just makes up a bunch of shit about this. Then he comes down here. He goes, making a new account just for Thorin content is worth. So basically, he agrees if you get blocked, just make a new account, but he doesn't do it himself. Then, like, literally 6 months later, he goes, 7 months later, he goes, imagine not being blocked by Thorin. They want to be blocked. Then when they get blocked, they cry about it forever. And then he goes, because he blocked me for no reason, and I find it funny. Basically saying I'm using my platform to hate on players, and Sponge has made a rant, so yeah, terrible. Then he says about Device and, you know, about how he's acting like a cunt. And he goes, I'm sorry, but if you think Thorin, replying in a thread to me, is as a reasonable, unbiased person, you really have to rethink your stance. Oh, okay, well, we can't even have bloody opinions now. That dude is one massive clown who uses his influence to hate on those he doesn't like. Then here's another one. He goes, what else do you expect from the guy whose only goal in life is to make others miserable for himself to feel good? Have you been blocked yet? Then he goes, I don't know what Thorin says, but if you take his opinion seriously, that's your problem. Then he goes, nah, way before that, Thorin blocked me months ago, and I don't know for what. And Richard Lewis blocked me yesterday. I said that he probably only shit so much on the nip situation because he has more info than the rest of us. Let's keep going down here. Thorin and Richard Lewis might be great journalists. They can be extremely damaging for the scene by blocking people like this maybe and saying things about players. Then we go, well, we knew that before. Thorin is biased as hell but can't admit any wrongdoing, have never done any wrongdoing, and his clown fan base takes anything he says for facts. Anyone who disagrees with Thorin gets blocks and he lives on with all his yes men. So okay. And he says we jump at any chance to send hate. Then he goes, I don't know if it's smart to go with what Thorin says when something is about interhuman relationships. Then he keeps going, you do know what feminism is, right? Keep going down. Thorin's acting is way worse than Puck. Well, that's not even a big deal, that one, is it? Let's keep going down. He realises he's blocked. He goes, I did get blocked, by the way. I just realised I've not seen a reckless rant and a Perks the God praise for about a week on my timeline. Definitely doesn't immediately betray what his own biases are and how mental he is. Checked. Blocked. So okay, then here's when he discovered, he goes, same, I just realised I was blocked when I couldn't see who Cold was replying to, lol. I actually didn't even realise, and even though I usually agree with him, except for his reckless rants, which I commented 2 times and apparently got banned for. He now knows why he was banned, right? Okay, so let's keep going back. He goes, okay, Dom, Thorin, let's keep going back. This motherfucker, I swear. If Reckless won a split like this, he'd just be like, wow, imagine being that decorated and going 5 games against a sub-jungle and going 8-8 in the split instead of 16-0 and people call him the GOAT of the West when he goes, so he just completely made up, hypothetically, what my response about Reckless would be in a post not about Reckless because I praised a different player. No, there's nothing unreal about this guy. He's not biased or a little bit mentally ill, right? Okay, then apparently I've said or implied Deft's better than Reckless. Sure, I do too. Deft is better than Reckless. I just think he hates Reckless almost as if he has a personal vendetta and always seems to target him for everything. Tries to downgrade him wherever possible, even though it shouldn't be possible unless if he didn't have hatred towards him. It's impossible to downgrade Reckless in any way. He must be the literally pinnacle best player in all possible ways. The only way you could downgrade him, like saying Deft is better than him, which is a downgrade, is if he didn't have hatred towards him. That doesn't even make sense, my dude. Here's another one. Unless if you're Thorin, who obviously hates Reckless for anything he does and probably won't acknowledge he's good enough, even if he wins worlds or some shit, saying his teammates are the GOATs, that's why, which is obviously a big part of it. But if you get the point, he has issues with Reckless. I believe at this point I'd already, because it was from the last year, done a series called Greatest Western Players of All Time, where I rank Reckless quite high up on the list, including above players I preferred when they played, like Forgiven. But let's just ignore facts again. Don't even try with logic. She just blocks you. It's like mini Thorin. It's just logic that gets you blocked. Imagine how deranged you have to be to suggest the potential GOAT in his position, Reckless in G2, the sole purpose of why they have not won the split. Never said that. He goes, imagine Thorin. Just imagine. Let's see what he was replying to. This is going to be amazing. So I said, Reckless misunderstood what the definition of lead G2 wanted and just weighed his team down in the LEC lower bracket, because obviously when it's written, the word lead is the same as the word led. And it's almost like you say, oh, you wanted me to lead G2, so you weighed them down. It's called a joke. It's obviously humour. This guy goes, are you ready? Remember, it's just disagreeing that gets you blocked. He goes, truly hope this has some other meaning that I'm too tired to think about here. You can't possibly be literal about it. You can't be that mongoloid, right? Please tell me he's being sarcastic. Remember, guys, you're not allowed to block people who call you a mongoloid when you're just making jokes, because if you do that, you just really hate Reckless or something. I got blocked a few years back. Forgot the reason, but I've never actually intentionally offended or trolled him. Ooh, You know it's fire, whatever I've got here. It's not just me either. It's a known fact that if you disagree with Thorin equals block. Notice they always create this fantasy story they keep propagating afterwards. But it never even turns out to be true in their case. He goes, equals block if he sees your tweet, LMAO. I even liked the guy. But he is a joke to me now. So he liked me for all those videos, all the value add I gave to his life, interviewing the favourite players, bringing out videos about the narratives, doing it long historical articles, talk shows, all the value add I gave his life. But because I clicked block on a bird app for what you're about to see, I'm a joke to him now. It's almost like he's not a serious guy. He's got the emotional maturity of a 13-year-old high schooler. So let's go down. No one will admit it, which is true, but only because he blocks everyone, so no one is aware of his opinions anymore. 210,000 followers. This guy has 567 followers, so I guess no one's actually aware of his opinions. Not the first time Thorin tries to find some drama where there is none. I just try to find drama where there is none. Thorin logic. Saying in response to me, Thorin logic. Why would I want someone to follow me? Why would I care? Oh, no. Are you ready? Just if you disagree, you get blocked, guys. 2nd of January 2018. Why anyone takes Thorin's tweets, tags me in it, seriously beats me. Attention seeking as his shallow fan base decreases. This motherfucker's still talking about me in 2021, 3 years later. Number one CSGO expert, never been and never will be. Not saying I don't like his videos or that his opinions are irrelevant, but his Twitter is seriously autism central. This is years after I repeatedly told the public that I have autism. And he's essentially bullying me using the fact I have autism and saying that my Twitter is autism central. But remember, I only block people because they even slightly disagree with my opinions. Update, he blocked me like everyone who disagree with him. Previous tweet, cry is free. That's just disagreeing to say cry is free. That's not just an inane, stupid comment no one would want to see on their timeline. This is a good one. In the process of searching up this weirdo, what a weirdo I am, I realised I was also blocked by Thorin. I assumed the original one was Richard Lewis, despite never interacting with him or mentioning him. LMAO. 2 years prior, 3 years prior. Holy fuck, dude. Go back to complain about League of Legends balance patches in your fucking Parker. Never interacted with me or mentioned me. And by the way, when have I ever done videos about League of Legends balance patches? That was never even my shit. That's like LS or Freak or something, you moron. Oh, this is a good one. So look, it's all the people who are like, oh, welcome to the club, we've all been blocked. And then this guy goes, who Thorin blocked me? And this guy goes, I do not think anyone is sad about it. If you don't share his opinion, you notice the theme here, guys. If he doesn't have any counter argument, you have to counter their argument now. Or if you're not his fan, you will get blocked. The guy is the definition of an adult baby. Oh, let's hope this guy hasn't been tweeting about me, guys. Right, let's go on here. What's he tweeting about here? Sadly, I know the date, so I know it's the Device tweet. When I put this, because Device actually really did tweet, oh dear Lord, and you are 37 years old, I can't, and then she deleted it immediately. I just put, imagine seriously attempting this as your angle. This guy goes, I have no words, ... Duncan. You notice I don't use Duncan anymore as my name, but this guy, he knows me personally. He goes, you're seriously messed up. Remember, just disagreed with him. I'm seriously messed up. Not gonna lie. You're the one who has made the most out of having close to zero talent at all. How can you call people narcissistic, sir? Self-appointed esports historian. Esports historian as though it's not real. I've only done it for 20 years. Self-appointed, I've said this many times, it was literally a title given to me by Simone from Faceit, a super OG in esports. You're a joke and you're not even aware of it. But remember, I just block people who have differing opinions. Before that, a month or two prior, esports historian, LMFAO, just a differing opinion. This is a good one. Both him and Richard Lewis are huge snowflakes, despite making fun of snowflakes. I almost never make fun of snowflakes, quite frankly. That's just something you've imagined because you think in your brain that because he's not like me with left-wing politics, he says and does everything Ben Shapiro says. And he goes and uses block lists to mass block people. So because I blocked this one guy, I use block lists to mass block people. I got blocked too, and I haven't interacted with Thorin in 4 years. Tweet was done a few days ago, 28th of September 2021. 4 years. So he hasn't interacted with me since 2017. Right, okay, here's him talking to Malice. The fact that he's a fan of Malice tells you everything. Thorin, stop talking shit. You have no knowledge about challenge. Very hard. By the way, remember, he's blocked, so why would I ever see that? Then in 2020, wait a minute, that's less than a year prior. He's still talking about me. LMAO, Thorin pulled another Poland, I think. I'm pulling a Poland when I point out that Koreans are fucked up for discriminating against someone on the basis of who they have sex with. But let's keep going down. So, okay, Slasher, he's just talking shit about me again. Oh, Jacob Wolf, he goes, his lack of self-awareness is astonishing. Wait a minute, guys. 28th of September, 2021. He hasn't interacted with me in 4 years. Let's go back less than 2 years prior to the 30th of April, 2020. Dude, you're almost 40. Might want to dial back on the edgy teenage anime tweets, right? Teenage anime tweets. But I only block people because I just like block lists to just mass block people for no reason. And by the way, I'll just throw this in there. Remember that he hasn't interacted with me for 4 years from the 28th of 2021. But let's just look at these tweets. Oh, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018, 2018. Keeping going through 2018, keeping going through 2018. Almost at 4 years, keeping going through 2017, October, 2017, October. How many in October? God, everything in October. And then we finally get to 4 years. Whew. Finally. None of those tweets exist, guys. None of them exist. I just use a mass block list. Here's a good one. This is fucking amazing. It's in a thread where I just make a joke to Bjergsen. Someone who, by the way, obviously I'm not logged in at the moment. You can see he follows me on Twitter. You could actually just go on my account if you haven't been blocked and you'll see like follows by TSM Bjergsen. I make a joke to him, basically someone I'd consider like not really a friend, but we've had bow back and forth, always respected each other on some level. This guy just does like a block in the wall. And then of course, then people start nutters talking about being blocked. So when you talk about being blocked, one of these morons who was blocked privately goes, finally my chance. Finally we will have our revenge on the Jedi. And they rush out and they tell how about you've just blocked them for no reason because they're trying to create this hater feeling with more people, right? Proselytizing. He goes, how about this? He is so soft. He blocked me for liking a tweet, LMAO. So he better not be commenting ever towards me, ever in history, right? Didn't even realise this thread was a response to Thorin. I thought y'all were talking to yourselves. And then he just goes down here. He goes, I mean, he did it to hundreds of people. A 40-year-old man went on a childish tirade about a tweet that people liked and went and blocked them. Read my own mind there. If you don't see how Thorin would do that, you're a pretty lost cause. So let's look up. What's he ever tweet? He's never interacted with it. It's just because of liking a tweet that I blocked him. So, okay, we'll just go to here. So here we go. He's already responding to me. Have you literally ever thought carefully before accusing people of things? This seems like the biggest self-burn you've ever done. Then he tweets to me. He goes, you're literally a serial liar. Then he goes, you get caught being a scumbag constantly, so maybe you should do a little self-reflection. I will never understand how your followers fall for this fake, enraged porn bullshit you do. I mean, he lies constantly, lol. You lie and smear literally every day, idiot. Thorin heavily implies it is illegal in his commentary about breaking NDAs. More comments to me, more comments to me. It doesn't take a genius to understand Thorin is in the wrong on this one. Thorin is using a textbook example of a straw man argument. It's the same argument he makes when he does fan logic stuff. I mean, it's just like your whole temper tantrum the first time where you were proven wrong. Just grow up, my dude. You're so bad at this, it hurts. No, she didn't. You literally looked like a clown after that treat, lol. Jesus, man, you're a real piece of shit, huh? Give it up, man. You're basically irrelevant. I mean, it's quite literally untrue. Literally, Thorin is the one triggered here. Holy shit, dude. This is like 1 month most of this is in. Your entire public image is based on shitting on TSM. We all know you're a narcissist. That's not nearly as smart as you think. Remember, never interact with me. Seems like everyone else they work with respect the fuck out of them, except Thorin and Monty. Thorin is literally a whiny beta male, lol. What the fuck are you even on about? Thorin isn't going to date you for doing these mental gymnastics, man. What fucking terrible results-based analysis, lol. The mental gymnastics you take truly astound me every day, LMAO. You still out here trying to defend the guy and ironically under a comment about passive aggression, you're really a parody of yourself. This was so bad. I actually thought this was a Thorin tweet at first. Monty, please. You know what? We'll just end this one here. Like, you can see where this one's going. I've never interacted with this man in my life. By the way, not Thorin. But as usual, if anyone's blocked, you have to tell the story about being blocked by Thorin and Richard Lewis. He goes, I remember getting blocked by Thorin for making a tweet about Fnatic. I think the last time I interacted with him was almost 2 years ago. This is actually today, 1st of October 2021. So remember, that would be in 2019. Same guy, but in March, goes, this moron goes, question mark. He goes, man, ever since I was blocked by Thorin for checks notes, being a Fnatic fan, I've had a much more sane Twitter, like continuing to tell stories about being blocked by Thorin when you're blocked by Thorin. Okay, here's another one. I go, did you miss the part where Reckless drove away the most successful coach in the history of the region? I have sources you don't. This guy goes, how do you know Reckless did it? Just curious. And this guy goes, yes, I'm kind of wondering that too. If he is going to make an accusation that Reckless drove Youngbuck away, then show proof. I mean, again, if you weren't listening earlier, like, if you actually think I should show proof, you're probably a fucking moron. This one's mental. This guy, named ZwooCS, obviously written in a different way. What he did was, he's a guy that has 6 followers and follows 6 people and claims to be like an enthusiast since 2001 and kind of, instead of a historian, he's an archaeologist, you know. And what he does is he just started replying to like every CS tweet I did, if it was about Carrigan or about fucking Zwoo or Simple. We can't tell by his name, he might be unstable. Even though I blocked him ages ago, he now just goes in and religiously, habitually argues with people in my reply section and constantly points out how biased I am, how I just suck the dick of existence, or Simple, or Carrigan, because he's deeply unwell. So then if someone gets blocked, he goes, did you criticise Carrigan, Kenny or existence? Did you call him out on flawed logic or hypocrisy? By the way, you're not allowed to block people who say that you have flawed logic or hypocrisy, even if they're wrong. Did you say something offensive that actually merited being blocked? Only if you say something offensive by their logic does it merit being blocked on the free internet bird app where you can choose who you want to hear from. 90% of people on his extensive block list, can't possibly know that, fall under A and B. Again, completely in this guy's mind. Then he just goes all the way around. Look how many times. What I'll do is I'll just scroll down for you, right? Are you ready? Let's just scroll at a reasonable rate. And what we'll do is we'll just keep scrolling at a reasonable rate. Why does that fucking bar on the side never actually go to the bottom, guys? Just keep scrolling. Look, just look. Look on the right-hand side. It never goes to the bottom. I just keep scrolling down. Oh, sorry, you actually can't see the bar, but I've just realised I'm cut off. Basically, look. I'm not going, like, super slow here, guys. I'm just keeping going. Look at the dates. Look at the dates. I'll just keep going just to prove a point, right? We'll just keep scrolling down a little bit. This is all in 1 year, all this year. Keep going, March. Still in March, February. We're in February now. Still in February. Still in February at the moment, boys. Still in February. Finally, we're in January. Remember, this guy's just trying to make interesting points, you know. January still. Wonder when we're going to get into 2020 here. Still on January. Still just in January. Fucking hell, January was a long month, wasn't it? Bloody hell. I mean, you know, definitely got a life outside of the internet. Oh, we're in 2020. Oh, finally, we're in December. Okay, cool. We're in December, boys. We're in December. I'll start going a little bit faster in November. I just want to make the point for you. Okay, we're in October now. September. Finally, January 2020. Okay, great. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a good one. Reckless is obviously being kicked from G2, and it's because all of his teammates he didn't really fit with. They have a different philosophy, a different style of play, and so fans, essentially your Reckless fans, are like, well, it's not his fault, is it? Right? What player is allowed to be one of the best players but not literally adapt to or fit with any of his teammates? By definition, that's on some level a bad teammate, right? So I just say this fan logic. He goes, I will never understand your seemingly blind hatred for Reckless. Yeah, because it's just blind hatred, right? There's no reason for it. It's just blind hatred. Then this guy goes, how is it hate? He goes, I would agree if it was offhand remarks or occasional disagreement. Remember, he sets the limits on what is hate and what I'm allowed to say on the free bird app. And he goes, but at this point, every single time Reckless is brought up, Thorin always has to take the position that Reckless is in the wrong. Definitely not overly invested in Reckless. Even when Reckless isn't mentioned, he brings him up at random as an example of the bad. Complete fantasy. Then he goes, not that Thorin would ever be interested in discussing or defending his position. By the way, discussing or defending his position, that I have blind hatred for Reckless. I'm supposed to go, well, let me just engage with this interesting opinion and explain myself because I'm obligated to, because someone mentally ill called Ryan McIngram, just basically, I just have to respond to him with 3 followers and 3 following him. Here's a good one. This guy here goes, ha ha ha, he insta-blocked me. That's a really mature way to interact with criticism. It's just going to be criticism, guys. Nothing silly. So, okay, I go, because it was about the Super League, because everyone was going, it's killing the spirit of football. Like, what about all the British fans who follow the Premier League? So I just say, can someone go back in time like 10 plus years and tell the masses of British kids I saw on the street wearing Barcelona jerseys to glory support Messi, because he's like the best player, that it's really important we preserve the tradition and heritage of their local football club none of them support. Pretty kind of on the point kind of witty way to say it, right? He goes, Thorin, I really like your content where you talk about topics you are educated in. I can't possibly be educated in football, right? Because even though I was born in the UK, was following football since potentially before this guy was born, since it looks like he was born in 1999, I can't be educated on that because I know about CSGO. But as a person who's a random on Twitter, he is educated. And he says, please stop tweeting about Super League. Your takes are super cringe, are turbo cringe. So just telling me what I can tweet about. So I block him. And that's a really mature way to interact with what's just criticism. He just wants me to only tweet about the things he wants me to tweet about and not any of the other things. He can't just, be mature and just scroll past and enjoy all the other tweets, can he? Here's a good one. Literally got blocked for this. So I gave an analogy, right? You ready? So let's have a look what he got blocked for. I said, the stupid kind of quote these morons all say, like the guy before, why do you hate Reckless? He's a really good ADC. Because obviously that's not the reason. Like, I dislike his playing style, but I've known so much from his teammates and people in his orgs, multiple orgs, that this guy is an arsehole diva princess and makes everyone have to tailor everything to him, even though his best successes were not when they play through him entirely, and he has god-tier solo laners who were some of the best in the West at their role. Like, that's not why I hate him. It's him being an ADC is irrelevant. So what I say is that makes about as much sense as saying, why do you hate Ray Rice? He's a really good running back. Because Ray Rice was someone who was a really good running back. The fucking Patriots found that out in the playoffs. But he literally beat his wife or girlfriend in an elevator that was recorded. So if people hate Ray Rice going, but he's a really good running back, he's kind of irrelevant, which is a pretty good point. I'm basically giving like an analogy there. This guy goes, Ray Rice physically assaults wife versus Reckless playing ADC. Great comparison. Why wouldn't I want to read this guy's opinions? Why would I think this was a waste of my motherfucking time and he's not even attempting to understand the point I'm making with his little pea brain because he's a fan of Reckless? Then he goes, then he blocked me. Because I'm American, I know Ray Rice isn't comparable to Reckless. It's impossible to compare Ray Rice to Reckless because they're not the same person. Like, Ray Rice doesn't even play ADC. And Reckless isn't even African American and probably has never played American football. It's not allowed to do that. Here's a good one. And Thorin just blocked me rather than supporting his nonsense argument. Well played, man. You don't behave like a 12-year-old. Don't worry. So let's see what his argument is that I'm refusing to support. So when I said that, like, Faker, it kind of doesn't even deserve to be at Worlds based on, like, his team and how weak the region was, he goes, yes, I'm sure you are capable of understanding how good Faker or any other league player for that matter without looking at results. I'm supposed to just go, all right, yeah, I just can't, but I'll explain why I think I can rather than just block a moron. This guy just goes, stupid shit falls into the category of anything Thorin doesn't expressly agree with. Same with Loco. Both love to stick their face into the public and give opinions. How fucking dare we tweet on the Free Bird app? Stick our face in the public where people like this are trying to have a nice life. And then he goes, sometimes pretty good and sometimes batshit crazy, but can't handle people not licking their asshole like you do. So he's not going to have said anything silly. It's just if you don't lick my asshole that I block you because I dare to stick my face in the public. He goes, man, everyone is blocked by Thorin. LMFAO, 210,000 followers. He's a giant child who just so happens to have done well for him. Yeah, that 20-year career I had coming from basically almost poverty to where I am now, I just happen to have done well for myself in E-Sports. It's E-Sports, remember. Some of his points and analysis are great, but he can't handle any other opinions. Ever seen any of my talk shows? He goes, I remember Thorin blocked me because I disagreed with his stance on a regular season draft. LMFAO. Biggest toddler on the internet. Remember, it's always just something reasonable like disagreeing on a draft. Nah, Thorin and Loco just can't stand criticism about their views. Are you ready? LMAO, funny as fuck that Thorin and Loco Doco blocked me for calling them out on ignorant opinions and hypocritical statements. No, it was just draft. What are you talking about? And then Thorin wants to ask like he's this huge, tough, manly man. Definitely isn't projecting here. He goes, yeah, okay, you angry ginger. Take some melatonin and sleep. Then on one of this ones, he goes, seems like an unnecessary step to take on Thorin's part, IMO. Why bother wasting your time with individuals who are just spending their time spewing hate on your name? That's rich. That's rich as fuck. Then there's an old tweet. He goes, you just dug to September 2019 for the opinion of a random on the internet. Bold moves, Captain. He's also one of those morons who thinks you actually go through the whole timeline to get back because he doesn't know about the bird apps. He doesn't know advanced search allows you to just search for every time they reference, as I'm now teaching him here, aren't I? Mentally ill. How about this one? Used to follow him and like his tweets. Got blocked. Feels bad, man. Oh, that sucks. I hope he didn't say anything silly. He goes, I understand why you would be blocked. But why did I get blocked by Thorin and can't see those tweets, mate, you blocked? When I didn't say a word to him, and even followed him and liked his tweets, and I'm the one getting blocked. Then he goes, I got blocked by Thorin like yesterday, but not by R. Lewis. I follow both, never commented on their post, only retweeted and liked a few. Then he goes back here, got banned for, look at in a thread that I'm in, tagged. He goes, got banned for saying the truth, view botting. He's talking about a story where a stupid set of like clout chasers and some journalists from HLTV.org either overtly or implied that Flashpoint was view-botting their stream by putting the stream embedded in the Faceit platform where you play the game and obviously it might autoplay. They're claiming that's view-botting. View-botting is when you take a bot and put the bot on the stream so that it looks like a view that isn't a view. Now here's the problem. One, that's a great idea because some of the people who play on Faceit might go, oh, it's a stream, I want to watch this game, and they legitimately want to watch it. Two, I didn't implement that feature, and three, ESL has done that the whole time with ESA. I went on ESA to check this after they started saying this, and saw they had embedded an Oceanic game, a game I would never ever click, so my click by their logic was view-botted, and ESL just boosted the point of their stream. So if he's calling a business I'm involved with lying, saying it's view-botting, I don't particularly care about this, but remember, he never interacted with me anyway, I just blocked him for no reason. Here's a good one. And Thorin blocked me, of course. God, what do you think I blocked him for? So I just did a retweet of something that said, social justice is when you get punished or rewards for the actions of people who look like you. Or as we used to call it, racism. Will Spencer. He goes, Jesus Christ. Thorin is retweeting a lot of idiota these data. First of all, he doesn't even speak English. And secondly, apparently he's going to now critique the fact that I'm retweeting a lot of idiots. So I thought I'll just do him a favour and block him. And he's blocked me, of course. What the fuck? He blocked me for this. It's funny because I was one of the few fans he had. Fuck, I probably really fucked up. I might actually just unblock this guy and apologise to him. Who's the bigger fake nice guy moron? Clicks Philip or 3 clicks Philip? Is this really necessary? I've got a question. I'll just spin it back on you. Is it really necessary to say that? You were apparently one of my few fans. Can't you just, overlook tweets you don't like? You don't have to reply and stupidly ask me, is this necessary? No, it isn't. But you know what? It's not necessary to block you, but I did that as well. Then he goes, remember, even though I have 210,000 followers, loads of people watching my YouTube clips over the years, all this interest, fans, I go to events, I get fucking mobbed by people asking. When he gets blocked by me, suddenly he was one of the only fans I had in the world. He's not trying to create a toxic relationship where, I need him and fuck. Listen, baby, I didn't mean to fucking hurt you, but, I had to keep you in line. Don't make me do that again, baby. No, he's one of the only fans I had in the whole world, guys. Wonder why I blocked him. I posted the clip of Issa just saying, don't believe what Thorin is saying. And he goes, when are you going to realise that you are super washed up and know nothing about CSGO the game? You can talk about what happens behind the scenes, but why you have to talk about in-game things? You know nothing about the actual game. And then he goes, I know I'm going to get blocked. And that just proves my point, that you are just out of your mind. Anyone who doesn't agree with you gets blocked. You know nothing about the game. Your journalism is crap. I love that one, by the way. You're a fucking moron and a dickhead. But if you block me, it proves my point. You block him. He proved my point. Look, it's only because I said he was going to block me that he's blocked me. I proved my point. I win the internet. Last one. Who isn't blocked by Thorin at this point? LMFAO. People are even getting heated because of Thorin, lol. I got blocked by Thorin, but I don't remember what I did to anger him. And then here we go, LS does one of the tweets where he says about how I've done so much for him. He goes, I don't know how Thorin views you as a friend if he's going to hella disrespect your voice in the LCK like that. Then he goes, thought Thorin wasn't too bad, but now he's so fucking cringe. But remember, just blocked by me. I don't even know what I did to anger him, really. So as usual, we got all the tells, we got the mind reading. He did it for no reason, often proven to be nonsense. He did it for liking a tweet. How could you possibly know if that's how I did it? He did it because I follow this person. That's the most mental one, because there's no possible trail, unless you hacked in my PC with a Trojan, that you could know that. He uses bots. Yeah, totally reasonable speculation to make. I never even interacted with him. By the way, even if that was true, so what? Am I not allowed to just see your account? I don't want to interact with that account. In general, the nutters, think they know the reason. It's not even speculating, they just know the reason. Then they downplay what they said. Oh, I just disagreed with him. I think you're a piece of shit scumbag who shouldn't be in the industry. Oh, it's just a disagreement. Why can't he just counter it or something? I called him out on his bullshit. The heroes of the world, the Punisher taken out. It's not just about justice, man. It's about punishment. I told him the truth. Oh, was it? You're just shit. That's like objective truth. Then they attempt to get the other people to feel like shit. They ask your friends and colleagues to inquire about why you're blocked. They've lost all respect because you blocked them because they're an arsehole. They invoke journalism. So much for this journalist, this esports historian. Don't worry, boys. This series will return, including a special edition just for people who work in the esports industry. Now, if you think that's fucking juicy and tasty, how about the delicious taste of Gamer Subs? 10% off with the code Thorin, Thorin. Not blocking you getting that deal, no matter who you are in the world. And they have loads of delicious flavours. The subdued acai, blueberry. They have the sort of, I think it's kind of I can see what I think, punchy dragon fruit punch. Or my favourite, the citrus lemonade. A little bit of tang, a little bit sour. Kind of like some of these arseholes responding to my banter. This video was kindly supported by Kris with a K, Lager15, Matt Pugnatio, Rajcula, Thooorin, Travis Goff, Zack Schmidt, Adam Ochs, Alexander Rao, Animosity, BotPounder420, Kris, ErikHillestad, Hades, Jdubs, Jensen Goh, John Shelton, Joseph Ginsburg, Kovacevicd, Tobias Bernasconi, Zoomba, Zyrathenia, and special thanks go out to both Jerky's Minion and DZL. Do you want to suggest a topic or a guest for some of my content? You want to ask me a question in one of those video AMAs? Do you want teasers? Who's going to be the guests on my next interviews? Do you want to take part in a lengthy esports discussion with me? Well, put your money where your mouth is. Join the Skilluminati today at the Patreon link in the description box below.